Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again for another Blu-ray DVD update video for you guys today. It's been about 2 weeks or so since my last one. Got a big old stack of goodies here to talk to you guys about today. But before I get to the first one, please hit that like button if you guys enjoy my videos. Share my videos around on Facebook and Twitter. But let's get on to it here. The first one up from Arrow Video is a Blu-ray set I was just dying to get because I just absolutely love these films, and that is the Hellraiser trilogy box set here on Blu-ray, featuring, of course, the original trilogy of Hellraiser, Hellraiser 2, Hellbound, and Hellraiser Hell on Earth, all here on beautiful HD Blu-ray, man. Like I said, I've been a big fan of these films for years. It's probably one of my top 5 favorite horror franchises of all time, next to Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. And I was just so happy to find out that Arrow was putting out at least the original trilogy here, the worth watching, of the Hellraiser films. Because after number 3, I kind of lost interest in the franchise, to be 100% honest, guys. But on this Blu-ray set here, you get interviews with the cast and crew. On the first 2 films here, you get a documentary which is split up on the first disc and second disc here, called Leviathan, which is an in-depth, a couple-hour documentary on the making of Hellraiser and Hellraiser 2. It kind of reminded me of, it was called Crystal Lake Memories, like the 6-hour-long documentary that came out years ago. It's kind of just like that, the documentary, but for the first 2 Hellraiser films. And the other cool thing is here, like you probably already see, you get a new artwork on these Blu-rays here. And the other thing is, you get the original poster art on the flip side of this cover here, which is also really cool. And I'm just like I said, really happy that Arrow Video got this the rights to this set, because it's just absolutely amazing. It looks so good on Blu-ray. But I just want to let you guys all know you guys can get this set now if you guys have all region players. This is region B locked, so if you guys have a region B player, definitely go out there, get yourself a copy of this. Absolutely beautiful set here. And next up over here from Arrow Video US is a new Pam Grier movie finally released on Blu-ray, a film that I've never seen before, because I've seen Coffee, I've seen Foxy Brown, like her classics, and this is a film I've never seen before until I got this Blu-ray, and it's called Sheba Baby here on Blu-ray. In this movie, she plays like an investigator, and at the beginning, living on her own or whatever, and she finds out at the beginning of this film, her father in her town that she used to live in is being harassed by these like mob bosses and drug dealers, all these really random people, and she goes down there to try to stop this stuff from happening to her father, and until those mob people take it a little bit too far, and she has to find out who's doing this and take those people out the only way Pam Grier knows how. And I just absolutely love this movie. It was a whole lot of fun, the kind of 70s blaxploitation movies that she was putting out. It was just a really fun movie. There's a character in here, I forgot his name now, he plays a pimp out on the street, like, selling stolen merchandise, and, hey baby, how can I help you? Like, I love that character, and Pam Grier, of course, smacks him around a little bit to get what she wants. Really fun film. It looks absolutely amazing here on Blu-ray. You get a handful of special features on here, so if you're a fan of Pam Grier and Foxy Brown and Coffee and stuff, definitely check out Sheba Baby here on Blu-ray. Alright guys, and next up over here from Scream Factory, or Shout Factory, is the new volume of the Vincent Price Collection here. This is volume 3. The original set that came out, the very first volume, went out of print for some reason, and I can't find that set anywhere. And this is the new set from Shout Factory, featuring 5 feature films featuring the legend Vincent Price here. The films that you get on this set is The Master of the World, Tower of London, Diary of a Madman, Anevening with Edgar Allan Poe, and Cry of the Banshee, all here on Blu-ray. All but one are digitally remastered in high definition. I've always been a fan of Vincent Price movies, and just the way, his persona, his swagger on film. I've always been, just a major fan of him. And the film I want to talk to you about on this set here, because if I talk to you about every single one, I'll be here all day talking your ear off, is the Tower of London. This is one of my favorite ones that I, revisited here, and it's pretty much in this film. The King of London is dying. He's on his deathbed, and he's trying to, figure out and find a new heir to his throne before he passes away, and he has 2 brothers, and one of his brothers is played by Vincent Price, and the other one, I forgot who he's played by, but like the dying king bequeaths Vincent Price's other brother to be king, and he doesn't like that. So he ends up, taking out, and Vincent Price ends up killing his own brother because he wants to be the king of London. And then, slowly but surely starts picking off, different people, in the kingdom because he wants to stay the king and wants to be the ruler of London. But as he's doing so, the souls and the spirits of the people that he's killed are coming back and haunting him, and he's kind of going out of his mind. It's just a really, really fun flick, and if all these movies come with handfuls of special features like interviews, and the other cool thing is, guys, this set right here comes with a booklet. It may be like a limited thing here. It features like poster art and like pictures from each of the Vincent Price films that are in this set. I always like when the companies add little booklets and little things like that. I think this makes a set even sweeter. So if you're a fan of Vincent Price, just want to let you guys all know the new Volume 3 set is out now. Get your hands on them. Really, really great fun films in that set here. And next up over here from Scream Factory also is their new double feature pack here of 2 films I think I remember seeing back in the day when I was a kid and like really liking them, but now rewatching them, they're not as great as I remembered, and that is The Curse and The Curse 2, The Bite here on Blu-ray. The first film right here stars Will Wheaton, who you guys all know from like Stand By Me and stuff like that. He's also in The Big Bang Theory now every once in a while, and it's about this family that lives on this small farm. They live off the land and try to make money off selling off their fruits and vegetables that they grow, until one day this meteorite flies out of the sky and crashes into the ground by their farm, and they're like, what the hell is going on here? So they try to figure out what's going on, and the thing sort of just disappears and goes away, and they're like, okay, what the hell was that? But then as life goes on their farm, their fruit starts to become really big and luscious, and like the water they're drinking from the well is tasting weird and kind of funny, but they don't really care. They're like, maybe it's just something's up, but everything will be fine. But things start to go awry in the family. People in the family start growing little moles on their faces, and as soon as like the wife cuts into one of like tomatoes, all these bugs are in them. Like all this nasty stuff is happening to their cows and cattle, and they don't know what it is. Could it be something that's in the water? And it's just them trying to figure out, what the hell is happening. And was it the meteor that came down that's causing this? You have to watch the movie to find out. But it's actually an okay film, but it's just these movies just weren't as exciting as I remembered as a kid. You know what I mean? Like I totally remember the cover art on the shelves on VHS back in the day, but I don't know, they just weren't exciting enough for me rewatching them after all these years. And next up over here from Scream Factory also is a new collector's edition of a Wes Craven film called The Serpent and the Rainbow here on Blu-ray. This is the film that stars Bill Pullman. I believe it came out back in like in 1987. I was gonna say 1990, but it came out in the late 80s here. And this is a film where Wes Craven was trying to do something a little different. He wasn't trying to go for Hills Have Eyes kind of vibe, or he wasn't trying to be like Nightmare on Elm Street and kind of have like one of those not niche, but like, a real horror film. He was trying to do something a little different here. In this film, Bill Pullman, I forgot, what was he, like an anthropologist? He's an anthropologist sent down to Haiti to find this miracle drug, because the people where he lives in the big city found out about these people that died, but now they're alive, and they died like years ago, but there's a picture taken of this one guy like 2 days ago, and he's alive. And they're trying to figure out what's going on. Is there like a miracle drug or a miracle pill that, Haiti has that's keeping these people from dying and keeping them alive? So they send Bill Pullman down to Haiti, to find this special powder. And he goes down there, and it's what he witnesses when he goes down there, and all the craziness, that happens to him when he goes down to Haiti. It's actually kind of an inventive film for Wes Craven. Something, like I said, something a little different for him. And I gotta say, it's a real decent watch, but like I said, it's not as good or as memorable as Hills Have Eyes, the original, or Nightmare on Elm Street, or Scream. You know what I mean? It doesn't have that oomph that staying power, but it is a really, worth watching film. On this Blu-ray here, you get a new making of featurette here, featuring a couple of the, cast and crew members, like Bill Pullman and things. But there's also an audio commentary on here by actor Bill Pullman, which was kind of decent. But if you're a fan of Wes Craven and the Serpent and the Rainbow, I just want to let you guys all know the Blu-ray's out now. Guys, and next up from Scream Factory here is another double feature pack, and it's called Millennium and R.O.T.O.R here on Blu-ray. I remember watching R.O.T.O.R back in the day. It's pretty much about this one investigator guy. His name's Bill Smith. He's investigating this plane crash that happens at the beginning of the film. This big plane blows up, crashes, and he's trying to figure out why that happened and where the plane ended up going. Like, where did it crash, and is there people alive? And it's just him investigating. And as he gets deeper into this investigation, he finds something, as he's investigating, that transports him somewhere. It could be the future, it could be the past, and he's just trying to figure out where he is and what the hell had happened to the people on this airplane. And it's him just trying to figure out what's going on, and him not knowing where he's at now, and just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. It's actually a real fun science fiction flick that I remember watching on VHS back in the day. And R.O.T.O.R here, this is the film I've never seen before until I got this Blu-ray, and man, it's one of those movies that's so bad it's good. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it's a ripoff of Terminator. That way, say if you get Terminator and RoboCop and put them together and and have super bad acting and writing and everything, that's R.O.T.O.R. You know what I mean? It's one of those movies. It's so bad you just have to watch. Like, you don't even have to be drunk or high. You'll feel like you are when you're watching R.O.T.O.R here on Blu-ray. Like, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I don't want to explain it to you, but it's absolutely a lot of fun. So bad it's good kind of film. And on this Blu-ray here, all you really get is a theatrical trailer to both of the films, an alternate ending to Millennium here on Blu-ray. But these are fun science fiction flicks. I like them. They're a lot of fun. And next up over here from Warner Brothers is a film that I kind of wanted to see because I like the cast that's in here. You get Gabriel Byrne. You get you get Antonio Banderas, Juliette Binoche, and it's called The 33 here on Blu-ray. It's a movie based on a true story about these Chilean miners, gold miners, and back in 2010, I believe it was. They're just going to work on a normal day, going down into the mines, mining for gold or what have you, and the mine caves in on them. And these 33 guys are stuck underground and have no way to get back up to Earth to their families, to get the hell up out of the Earth. And this is a movie that's telling their story and of how the hell are they going to get out of the situation that they're in, and how the company that they work for, they don't really care that they're down there, and it's how their country rallies for them and tries to get them free. It was actually a really inspiring flick that I really got some enjoyment out of. I really like some of these true life kind of movies that are based on true events, and this was actually really kind of good, really well acted here by Antonio Banderas and what was his? I don't want to miss his name now. Lou Diamond Phillips. There you go, Lou Diamond Phillips. I've always loved him as an actor. Stand and Deliver, great movie. But if you guys want to have a really nice experience, definitely check out this movie. It's a really well done, well acted, put together piece, and I really did enjoy this one. All right, guys, and next up from Warner Brothers also is a film I've been really interested in checking out because I seen a documentary, about the man himself called Whitey. Or something. I think it was called Whitey, James Whitey Bulger versus America or something like that came out a handful of years ago. And this is a film called Black Mass here on Blu-ray, starring Johnny Depp in the title role of playing Whitey Bulger. And if you guys don't know who Whitey Bulger is, he was a criminal guy living in Boston, killing people, committing all these different crimes, until one day he becomes an FBI informant and has the FBI working for him, and how he just kind of grows in the ranks of just being the top douchebag that that's ruling South Boston back in the day. And this is the film that follows 10 years, you know, in his life and what he was doing at the time of his height of his you know, criminal activity, and how he lost his son, and how, you know, that changed his whole, you know, changed his life and the way he, you know, he does stuff, you know, the way he acts and things. And I really did enjoy the performance in here by Johnny Depp. It's a lot different from the performances that we're getting from him these days, like how he is in Pirates of the Caribbean and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you know, like those really wacky, kind of crazy Tim Burton-esque kind of characters. Like, he's still kind of nutty and he's still all made up in this film. Like, he really transforms himself into the role of Whitey Bulger here, and I really did dig it. You know what I mean? I felt like this movie could have been a little bit longer, because some of the subject matter that they were talking about, they kind of rushed by a couple of the topics just real kind of fast. But I did really enjoy the performances. I love the scenery in this film. It's just a really well done, put together film. Really well acted here. Kevin Bacon is pretty good in this film. So if you guys like well acted, like mob kind of movies, like Casino and those kind of things, like Heat, definitely check out this movie. It's really, really well done. Alright guys, and next up over here from Disney is The Lion Guard, The Return of the Roar, here on DVD. This is another installment into the Lion King franchise, which I love. I absolutely adore the first Lion King movie. It's probably in the top 10 favorite of Disney films that are out, and this is just a follow-up to the story and seeing where the characters are now. And in this film, of course, Simba and Nala have two kids now, and this is them living life, being the king, you know, of the Pride Lands. And now Simba really wants to teach his son how to be king, but yet he thinks his son may be too young a little. His name's Keon, his son. And until one day, Keon, Simba's kid, is going out playing with his friends. He's told not to go into the dark place, or I forgot what they call it now. Where all the hyenas are and things. But yet Keon's friend ends up going in there and starts to get harassed by these hyenas. And Keon, Simba's son, is like, "Hey, stop messing with my friend!" And this big giant roar, you know, comes out of Simba's son, and you see all the, you know, in the clouds, all these lions from the past, you know, roaring along with him, and all the animals, you know, in the Pride Lands hear this, and Simba goes, "My son has got the calling." And now, you know, Simba has to tell his son Keon the legend of the Lion Guard, and how now Keon is now the king of the Lion Guard, or, you know, and he has to, you know, assemble a group of, you know, that he needs, you know, for this Lion Guard. And it's pretty much Simba's kid, you know, picking all his best friends, you know, to be part of the Lion Guard. But, you know, like, one of them's a hippopotamus, the other one's like a zebra, not a zebra, but like, you know, like a cheetah, and one's a bird. And like, Simba's like, "No, man, you know, the Lion Guard has to be, you know, full of lions. You know what I mean? They have to be all lions, not your random friends." And it's just pretty much, you know, Keon's character just saying, "Hey, Dad, come on, man, I'm the Lion Guard. Let me do what I want to do." I don't know. I really like this film. It's only about 45 minutes long. You get characters that you know and love from the franchise, like Rafiki, the monkey. You get Pumbaa and Timon in here, and it's just a really enjoyable watch. It's really kind of nostalgic to me, because I just like these characters. You know what I mean? You even get Mufasa in here. I know it's a little bit of a spoiler, but Mufasa pops up in here, you know, for a second or two in the clouds, which was really kind of cool. But if you're a fan of the Lion King franchise, this is a nice little installment, nice 45-minute installment into the franchise. Alright guys, and next up over here from Universal is a film I really wanted to check out, because I hear it's getting a lot of Oscar buzz. It's gotten nominated for a couple of Oscars, and this is subject matter really interested me, and I really wanted to check it out. And it's called The Danish Girl, here on Blu-ray. It's about this person back in the 1920s named Lily. She was born a man and is now transitioning into being a woman, and how this affects his or her life, and his girlfriend's life in the process, who's a painter, and everyone, you know, around them looking at them kind of weird. And I found this movie to be really well done, really well acted. It's a really nicely told story of the very first person that ever went through that process back in the 1920s, the transgender thing going, I'm so bad at talking about this kind of thing, but it was actually a really well done story. If it sounds interesting to you, definitely check it out. Really well done, really well acted. You also get a making of featurette on this film here. I really do hope it does get some Oscars here, because it was just really well put together here. And next up over here is a film that I really did like. It stars, I can't even say this guy's name right, please forgive me, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Nicole Kidman, and Julia Roberts, and it's called The Secret in Their Eyes, here on Blu-ray. In this film, these three play, investigators to like different crimes, people being murdered, and they're there to try to solve the murder and things. But at the beginning of this film, Julia Roberts' daughter is found dead in a trash can, and the team is trying to figure out who did that, who killed her daughter, and why. And the whole film is just them trying to figure out who this person is that did it and why that person did it. And it takes them a handful of years to try to to solve different little things. But as soon as you watch this movie and you see how it's unfolding, it's like, oh, that's what's going on here, kind of thing. It's a real fun psychological thriller film that I really did enjoy. This movie is really getting kind of crapped on by critics and things, and I can kind of see why, because it does kind of feel like a made-for-TV movie at moments, in the movie, the way it's kind of put together. But like I kind of enjoyed it. For what it was. I thought Julia Roberts did a good job in here. Nicole Kidman was pretty decent. Haven't seen her in the film in a while. But that's A Secret in Their Eyes here on Blu-ray. Really, really fun psychological thriller. Alright guys, and next up over here from Universal also is a film starring Aaron Eckhart and Robin Tunney. And that is My All-American here on Blu-ray. This is a film that's from the writer of Rudy and Hoosiers. So the guy knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing when it comes to sports films. In this movie is pretty much about this young kid named Freddie. His passion is playing football and really just being the best and the coolest at everything he does in life. His dad's after school is always training him to be the best and always telling him, man, you gotta do your best to be the best, kind of thing. He lives in this small town. All the girls love him. All the guys want to be him. Like, he's like the nicest guy, in this town. He wants to go to college. He's applied to all these different colleges, and some of the ones that he's applied to are not getting back to him, whatsoever. Until one day he does get a reply to one of these colleges and goes there and just tries his heart out and inspires everybody at that school, even the coach. And it's just one of those kind of movies, and I thought it was lovely. You know what I mean? Like, I got a kick out of it. I've always loved sports movies that are like, feel good sports movies. Like, you watch it, you kind of just know what's gonna happen when you're watching them, kind of thing. It kind of felt like melodramatic at moments, but whatever, that's just the kind of thing that you're gonna get with a film like this. But I thought it was fun. I really did enjoy this one. The performances are in here are pretty decent. You get Aaron Eckhart in here playing the coach that kind of bookend, that begins the movie and ends the movie. Just like telling us about his experience. Coaching Freddie back in the day. I like this film. Really, really decent. I don't know if it's a purchase kind of movie. It's one of those ones you want to like rent first, before you go out there and buy it and stuff. But I liked it. And next up over here from Lionsgate is a film that a lot of you guys out there, the day it came out on Blu-ray, were like, Brendan, why didn't you hard up on it, man? It seems like a movie that would be right up your alley. And that it stars Vin Diesel, and it's called The Last Witch Hunter here from Lionsgate. This is a film starring Vin Diesel. In this movie, it opens up in like the 1200, I don't know, like 1300s, 1200s, I don't even know, like way in the past. And Vin Diesel is a witch hunter. He's going around, killing witches and things. And at the beginning of this movie, he's chasing down this one witch. And right before he kills her, this witch, puts a curse on him to make him immortal. And then it flashes forward into the future, and he's still a witch hunter going around, doing his thing. And that's all I can really say about this movie. That's all it really is. It's him going, taking out witches after witches. Like sometimes he spares the good ones that are, because not all witches are bad, kind of thing. And I thought this movie was kind of fun. I can see why people don't like it. Like, there are moments in the movie I'm going, this is dumb. But there's a lot of really fun, cheesy moments in here that I really did like. Vin Diesel, to be honest, he's kind of sort of the same in every single movie I've seen. Pitch Black, the Fast and the Furious thing. He doesn't really have a big range when it comes to his acting chops, but in movies in this movie and other movie, this movie right here, it kind of works. You know what I mean? The way he is in films, and I kind of liked it, but it's not amazing. You know what I mean? It's not an amazing watch. But that's The Last Witch Hunter here on Blu-ray. I would say I give it a 6 out of 10. It wasn't horrible, but I do see why a lot of you guys out there recommended it to me to check out. And the next two up here are from Olive Films, and this is a film I haven't seen in years. It stars Ethan Hawke, and it's called Mystery Date here on Blu-ray. This is a film that I remember loving watching back in the day. It kind of reminds me of the movie Trojan War that came out like back in the 90s, starring Will Friedle and Jennifer Love Hewitt back then. It was about a guy looking for a condom the whole night just so he can get to his girlfriend, kind of thing. And this film's it's not about Ethan Hawke looking for a condom, but in this film, Ethan Hawke is infatuated with his next door neighbor that just moved in across the street. But every time he comes across her, he doesn't have the ability to really talk to her, to hold the conversation with her, because he really wants to go out on a date with her. And so one day his older brother comes into town to gives him some advice, and then the girl, he ends up setting up a date with the girl across the street, and they end up going out on the town. Ethan Hawke uses his brother's car, and they're going out on this date. He's meeting this girl, he's hanging out with this girl, but yet in the middle of his date he finds a dead body in the trunk of his brother's car. And then from there, his night turns to shit, and he's just trying to keep his the girl from knowing what the hell is really going on in this car and why are people chasing him and stuff. It's just a really fun comedy thriller film that I really liked. I really love it. I always liked Ethan Hawke since Reality Bites and Tape, and I just really like him as an actor, and a really fun watch. I think it was made in 1991, but it kind of feels like an 80s movie. You know what I mean? And I love me some 80s. And next up over here from Olive Films also stars Nicolas Cage and Samuel L. Jackson, and that is Amos and Andrew here on Blu-ray. This is the film I remember watching all the time as a kid, and I really wanted to revisit this on Blu-ray. In this film, Samuel L. Jackson plays like this playwright that's moving into a new house that he just bought. He's on the Forbes 100 list kind of thing. He's like the richest guy, one of the richest guys in the world. He just bought this big house in the suburbs. He's moving in, and as he's moving in, the next door neighbors see him in his house, and they think he's a black guy robbing their friend's house because they don't know their friends have moved out and sold their house. And they call the cops, and this whole night turns to shit for Samuel L. Jackson. And the cops are like shooting at him, and he's trying to figure out what's going on until the cops mess up the whole the whole thing that they're doing, and end up sending in a prisoner that they have at the prison, played by Nicolas Cage, into the situation to try to make it look like it's Nicolas Cage that was causing all the gunfire and shooting. It's just a real kind of cluster of a movie. I thought I really did like it back in the day, but revisiting it after all these years, it's not as good as I remembered. You know what I mean? Nicolas Cage and Samuel L. Jackson are really good in here acting wise, but just as a movie, it just doesn't really hold up to till today. You know what I mean? But it does look nice on Blu.
Hi, I'm back again just for a quick second, and as usual, what do I usually share with you? That's right, episodic television, and this one is no different. This is the 6th and final season of one of my favorites, Downton Abbey. I really love this show. It's sort of like when I don't see it for a while, and then I get another season and I put it in. It's sort of like, yeah, I'm back in the neighborhood. There are all my friends. I'm a little crazy, but that's okay. And I just love the majority of the characters in this, especially in the first episode that I saw. Mrs. Patmore, who is the cook, and Mrs. Hughes, who's the downstairs, senior person, had a talk because, as you know, in season 5, Mr. Carson asked Mrs. Hughes to marry him. She accepted, but now she's got some doubts, and she wants Mrs. Patmore. Sorry, I don't want to give it away, but it just cracks me up. She wants Mrs. Patmore to have a discussion with Mr. Carson regarding sex. And it's just so cute to watch this poor little lady, Mrs. Patmore, try to bring up in front of this, Carson, the very noble butler, the subject of sex in his marriage. I'm sorry, but you've got to see it. It's just hysterical. And then, of course, I love Maggie Smith and her repartee with the character. I think it's Lady Violet. I could be wrong. But the repartee between the two characters are just hysterical, because it's very, like, and you are, it's just very subtle, but I just love it. It's hysterical. And I'm sure you're all familiar with Downton Abbey. Season 6, of course, as I said, it's the final season. I can't wait to watch the rest of it, and I'm so sad to see that that's the last one, because I've enjoyed, watching these people for such a long time. But go ahead and pick this up. You won't regret it, I assure you.
Alright guys, and the last two I have here to talk to you guys about today are from PBS, and it's 2 DVDs of a show I used to watch all the time as a kid, especially in elementary school, because in elementary school, in my class, they would play an episode, one every day, in my class, and I used to just fall in love with it, man, and that is Reading Rainbow, Mrs. Nelson's Back, and Reading Rainbow, Animal Cafe, here on DVD. This is PBS's, collection packs, because each DVD here features 4 episodes from the original Reading Rainbow series that came on back in the day, and it's just really, really super nostalgic to me. Absolutely love revisiting this. And if you guys don't know what Reading Rainbow is, it's a show starring LeVar Burton from like Star Trek and Roots in here as the host of the show. And each episode they have like a celebrity that reads a book that's featured in each episode that reads the book to us, as LeVar Burton goes to different places like like chocolate factories and magic shows, and teaches teaches each kid that's watching each episode different little things in life. You know what I mean? It's just a really fun show that I think if you have kids out there right now, you guys can play these for them and they'll still learn a lot from this. And I've always really loved this show. Like, even in my very first short film I ever did, the original Night Owls, it starts off with the Reading Rainbow song. If you guys are long-time viewers, you guys know it starts off with Reading Rainbow, take a look, it's in a book, Reading Rainbow. Like, I just love these. I hope one day PBS puts out like complete season sets of these. But I don't know if they shot season. I don't know if they ever shot like seasons of the show, or just like random episodes. I'm not sure how they did it, but definitely get your hands on these. You get them on Amazon. Different. Each DVD here features 4 episodes. Really, really amazing stuff here. But guys, thank you so much for watching my Blu-ray DVD update video, and I'll see you guys all for the next one. Hoarders unite.